Oh, that was a good one. Sorry about that.
That work?
Car left. Still
Equipment!
Still there. Clear left.
You just broadcast like you just started.
Sorry, guys.
Still there. Still there. Clear left. Car left.
Might have anything left in the tank. I might walk back to the hotel, but it might have to wait till breakfast. Come on. Are you still there? There we go. Sorry, I had to switch off of Wi-Fi. So. Oh, there's Minneapolis. I left. Got up at 4:25 this morning. Just now leaving the office, so it was a long day. Yeah. Steve, the electrical engineer, was super confident that we weren't going to have anything to do today. I started laughing pretty hard about 6 o'clock when everything started to break. And I was like, yeah, that's the dude. Going to be here till 10 again. Not eating dinner, just like we always are. But it's functioning enough at the moment that we can go to the farm tomorrow. So we're going out to the guy that runs a small cow-calf operation to work on or to run some real cows through the sizer. So this would be the 3rd time we've attempted it. But this is the first time we're going in the last few tries. So is Leaf just running away from everybody? Nice job. Was it an inverted start? Very nice.
Okay, Chris. Don't let this guy distract you.
Yeah, everybody gets, I mean, that's how last night's race was. There were 20 23 or 25 cars that started the race, and by lap 2 there were 12 because everybody crashed and quit. And it was like yesterday, the air temp was 65 degrees, but the track temp was 110. Yeah. So air temp was, 16C or whatever, and the track temp was 45C. So like the track it couldn't have been greasy. Like it was so slippery. And everybody just bended it.
It was just 145, 167.
Is that you texting or must be Adam? You're driving, I was gonna say. Yeah, so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how the standing start thing's gonna be really tough. Like challenge is just gonna be chaos. Can you imagine challenge cars with? And I can't decide if I'm gonna fuss with learning how to do the double clutch, the dual clutch. Let it out so you get the best start, or just pad the gas on green.
Fuel window after 8 minutes. Closes after 25 minutes.
Yeah. Well, the clutching thing, if you do it right, is really fast, but it's hard to do well. So, absolutely, yeah. Until you're in a club or a pro race, right? It probably doesn't make sense. So, I pinged Ken Tubman today just for kicks while I was sitting there in the office waiting for Steve to fix his stuff, and was like, "Hey, have you heard anything about promotions? Are they going to happen?" And he said, "I don't know." He said, "I nominated you, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen," which I thought was interesting. So, whatever. I mean, I suppose it's one thing, but after last night while I was driving, I was kind of like, I'm going to be kind of bummed if I'm still sport, just because, I mean, like, and I mean, Enrico, like, he's really struggling in the Cup car. Well, he was in last night's race, and he was in the race before yours tonight, and I think he's in this one too, isn't he?
169.
Yeah, Gregorado, yeah. And Glenn Dennis ran the East Coast one, and he's in this one too, isn't he? I looked at the member registration while I was sitting there. He got second in the other one. Is Chip Witt still running? So he's still in sport, and he absolutely crushed everyone else in the WWZ and their local zone group races. Like, he was routinely in the middle of the, yeah, and he's a mod, so like he's way too, I mean, he's, number one, he's too fast to be in sport. He's also been around for a long time. Like, he's the one that makes the decal packs and stuff. He has no business being in sport. Like, he beat Enrico most races by 15 or 20 seconds. And you saw how fast Enrico was in the national races. Yeah. But he's a mod, and he's an EDE, and I mean, so I don't know. Like, I don't know if he just got the right friends in the right places, or, but I don't get the not promoting thing, because like Dan Rubel, is Dan running this race with you? I mean, he's in club, and he's same thing. He's really fast. He's a little wild, like he gets in more incidents than he probably should, but he's stupid fast. Like, he's the only other, all the practice races that I did for VIR, he's the only other car I ever saw break into the 44s like Rafa Amarim. He's the only other guy that got there. I mean, not Paez, not Leaf, not Chris Braun, none of the other pro. I never saw anybody cracking 44s except for Rubel. And he can't run 44s consistently, but still, like, he got there. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll still have fun. Don't get me wrong. And I'm gonna, the other thing I think the other reason I'm not worried about staying in sport is I know I'm gonna miss at least 2 races, no matter what, whether they're Wednesdays or Fridays. And so I can't compete for the podium. So I'd rather just, get bumped, and keep progressing because I'm not gonna win because I'm gonna miss. So maybe, but I mean, I missed 2 races in challenge, and I won 3 races, and I still was in like 10th. So I mean, it'll be, even if I won, there's 8 races. If I win all 6 of them, I still have to make up 320 points somehow, right? That's a lot. That's a lot of points when it's 320, 318, 316, 314, 312. You know, I mean, like you gotta be a complete muppet to not get 260 points or crash. But I mean, like the guys that came up with us, Kim Fricky and Enrico, who's already there, and Chip Witt, and like you and Adam. I mean, there's just no way there won't be 5 people who manage to hold it together. Because you'll be, if you don't miss any races, you'll be 5th or 6th easily, just because you're super consistent and you don't crash. Well, we are driving the Cup car, so maybe not. I shouldn't say that. But
Okay, Chris.
it's really hard to pass in Glen. Really hard.
That's what Chip.
I don't know where to pass it to Glenn. So like last night when that guy was the pro that was behind me,
One bar running.
that was a half second back for 20 minutes. Like I was watching him. It was obvious that he was as fast as I was, but not really any faster. And there was absolutely nowhere for him to take me. The only corner he was better than me in was the turn.
No worries, Ed. Thanks for waiting.
Where the bump is, that hairpin. But everywhere else, I was slightly better than him. So he'd put 2/10 on me in that corner, and then I'd put 2/10 on him the rest of the lap. And he may have been faster than me on pure pace. I don't know. But there was nowhere. I don't know where you pass. I really don't. Yeah, but I mean, there were several times we exited turn 1 with him 3/10 or 4/10 on my bumper, and that, even with the draft, he couldn't get it done. Oh, yeah. Nope. He ran. It is. But it was greasy enough last night that I'm not sure if he might have been lifting and, yeah. And I figured out how to not lift, but I don't know. It'll be. Did they change the setup at all? Can you tell? With the update, we did it. Or no, the update doesn't drop till tomorrow, does it? Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean it's absolutely skittish, but it's not like uncontrollable. At least I didn't think so. But I actually thought the medium downforce setup was harder to drive than the Watkins one. The Watkins one the Watkins one pushes more than the medium downforce one. The medium downforce one snaps easier. So yeah. It's all about what you do with your foot too. Like your right foot, throttle foot. It's not as so. Like you remember when we ran the zone groups with Central, there were we ran medium downforce all the time. You had to turn that car with your foot, like with your gas foot. And the Watkins setup is not as friendly with that. Like it's not as easy to throttle steer, in my opinion. Because I drove. Yeah. Yeah, it's more, you definitely want to be straighter with your hands when you put the throttle on. Yeah, yeah. That's very accurate. I'm kind of surprised Adam's not practicing, but oh well. Could be. Still got a week though. I mean, and I get that. Like I was thinking about it after last night. You know, I was like, I don't know. I'll probably do one more with a standing start, but I don't want to do more than that. I don't want to get carried away. It's like if I can duplicate what I did last night, I'll be extraordinarily happy. And it was hot. Like, you know, well, it wasn't cold, so that was. It looked like the session tonight was fairly chilly. Like it looked like the track temps were low.
Okay, Chris, you've got 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
And it very much seems like a place, like you said, qualify well and don't crash, and you'll finish well. Or qualify at the back and don't crash, period. It's quite frustrating. He doesn't like being at the back.
The gap ahead is now 1.2.
Yeah, that's possible. That's interesting.
Thanks, Jared. Get that, Walker.
Better. Last night I needed
That's him.
7 gallons for a 45-minute race. It added 7.4, I think. Assuming you started with the same amount I did. The setups last night, they didn't have them fixed, and they had open quali on last night, so everybody was trimming the fuel. So I trimmed the fuel because there's a big difference in that cup car between a 14-gallon fuel load and a 3-gallon fuel load, especially when the track temp's 111 F. Because it was hot.
Thank you, Graham. Thank you.
That lap was at 147.65.
Right. You don't have a hotkey bound to turn them on and off or something, do you, that you're unwittingly pressing? And when you say it's crashing, like when you switch, is the program still there and the overlays are just off, or is the program gone? Oh, okay, that's different. That doesn't sound right. Wonder if something in last week's update patch broke something in Race Labs. No, it does not. Actually, they might have added auto update functionality. You used to have to click a button and say download or whatever. But yeah, I think you're right. I think that was one of the recent changes. Now, I always go, like if it's being funny, I just go manually download the new installer from the website and run it. But I just run the installer. It's pretty good about updating over the top of itself.
That's 20 minutes to go. Okay, Chris, we're halfway home. We think about 6 minutes of fuel left. Near to the end.
That sounds reasonable. That's 7.6 gallons. So yeah, I think the standard setup for that fuel for that setup is 12.9 gallons, but I could take it to 14 last night, and I did. And I know that the guys that were faster were doing what I was doing. Like, you know, there was obvious that some people were qualifying with the full fuel load and some people weren't. It was also obvious because if you didn't go in there and change it, you had to pit 2 laps earlier than everybody who. But I was like, it's open, so you know, I'm not gonna not go fill it up.
There's a car exiting the pits, heads up.
Yeah, Leaf must have quit because he's not in the voice chat anymore. He was earlier. We have a race control meeting tomorrow. I suppose if there's anything that come out of it, we'll find out tomorrow night. Yeah, Doug and all those people. Steering committee. Sorry, that's the right word. I'm sure I can't imagine how much work it is for them to do stuff. There are around 45 active racers in each level, plus the arrive and drives.
Track
So
temperature's rising, it's now 29 Celsius.
easily, yeah. And I mean, there's always people joining, and there's always people not. You know, I think Mark Lacombe, I think he's gonna quit and just do arrive and drive because he doesn't want to be in challenge anymore, and they're not gonna do any promotions. But he's also not being very proactive about it. I was like, you know, well, I told him, I was like, you know, just reach out to the Jim Huth is the head of the. He's the one who does final decisions on promotions and whatever. He's not in Australia because I reached out to him and he's like, I'm not sitting this one out because I'm in Australia for a month. And I told Mark, I was like, just reach out and say, listen, I appreciate everything you guys do and I understand how the classing thing works, but I'm not going to drive if you leave me in challenge. So either bump me to sport and give me a probation period or I'm out. Like, you know, there's no reason you can't say that. You're not like, you know, throwing a fit about the Friday thing because, you know, that there's not a lot they can do about that. But
The gap behind is now.
well, I shouldn't say that. I think there's things they could do about it, but I really like the mixed class races. I think they should run sport and challenge early on Wednesdays and Fridays. You pick your day. And same thing for club and pro. Just run club and pro together on Wednesdays and Fridays. and then after 6 races, have a
2 liters remaining.
showdown, top 12 or whatever, top 20 if you want.
Leaders pit now.
That way,
Liters remaining, 15
they
minutes
could
to go.
race on either day.
You're
And,
looking really
I mean,
good.
because they could
Keep
race
your focus.
together. And same thing with like club and sport too. Club and sport are the same way. Like, when I was doing the speed rating stuff over the 3 zone group races, there's no difference between club and sport. They're completely intermixed. Doesn't take too long.
Clear. Push now. Clear left.
All right. Nice. All right, I'm at the hotel. Have a good outlap. Go stay on the podium. Yeah, catch you later.
lap time was at 1:47.36. That's 5 minutes to go. Come on, keep it together. We'll be on the podium here. The car behind is now 0.9. The car behind is pitting. Chris, that's good consistency. Keep it up. Gaining the car in front. Gaps now 3.3 seconds. Just 2 minutes left, 2 minutes to go. The lap time was at 1:47.02. Chris, on out track limits, keep between the lines. Performance, you will be 5 minutes. Last lap, looking good for a podium.
Thanks, Graham.
Few left.
Thank you for hosting, guys. If you can hear me, I can't seem to hear anyone else.
Well done, Chris. Great drive. That's a podium.
Nice race, Gary. You got those tires warm and you just took off.
Race, Charles.
Actually, that was fun. I was learning the line, drafting off you there for a little while.
And I can't hear you, but thanks for the race. That was great.
Yeah, it was fun. Good drive.
That was good fun, fellas.
That was good to be back for me.
Thanks, everybody. Don't know if you can hear me. You can hear, Jeff. Yeah, that was a lot of good fun, although I flirted dangerous.